Yeah, okay, so I finished up all my errands in Santa Cruz. Why did I even come here initially? Oh, right, right. I wanted to pick up my alterations as well as deal with my motorcycle. Oh, and get my quest. That's right, 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 right. Anyway, I can't stay in the county too long. It seems like there's like gonna be at some I forgot the date, but at some point next month there's gonna be some kind of court date. And so as long as I can avoid service, that whatever's gonna happen in that courtroom is not consequential to me. Take that. Uh, I don't want to criticize the courts because they're my only hope at this point. But take that. Sorry, my phone ran out of storage, so I deleted all my podcasts or just the episodes. Anyway, yeah. Oh darn, what was it? Oh yeah, so I was gonna. Oh right, I was gonna talk about how I'm not a good videographer. This is gonna be so bad for the audience. I'm sorry, audience. But I shouldn't do these I shouldn't fucking like. This is gonna be even more annoying for the audience. Um, okay, so I finished up all my Santa Cruz errands, and I gotta get out of this county because of it would take like it'd take like 15 minutes to give a complete explanation of why. But I don't got to. I just should, or it is preferential to me as an assessment of my long-term goals playing out through the future. So what should I do on my last day? I thought I would take the audience on a like a tour of Santa Cruz. Oh, really? Well, so like my first impulse was that I would like say some things about like how I lost my home and like what would you call it? Like the consequences of. I mean, it's not really just corporate fraud or even crime. It's just like the consequences of like what's the category here? Really, I really want to know what these people's motivation was because that's going to like categorize a lot of. Something tells me that they like were operating like it was half they were under a mistaken impression and half they were. Oh, well, no, let's do thirds. It's like a third they were under a mistaken impression, a third they were like incredibly arrogant, and then a third they were incredibly incompetent. Um, but like that mistaken impression is like still like what was going on in their heads? Because I don't think like none of these people were trying to profiteer individually. There might have been a motive for Sedgwick to enroll people in like a sort of very factory mill style, just because they're like paid per enrollment or even paid per rejection, and so there'd be like an advantage to enrolling and rejecting a person rather than just like asking like you don't want to ask them because maybe they don't want a disability, which means you couldn't use their stats. You pad your stats with their fucking like numbers. They couldn't you couldn't stamp a serial number on their forehead or a barcode on the back of their head. Where was I going with this? I forget. Anyway, so I realized that wasn't a good venue because there's so much injustice in the world, and like honestly, my crime is so trivial, and I'm so lucky because I'll just be able to like like no matter what happens, I'll have a great experience. Essentially, that's my like path forward here. My plan to move forward. I'll just build apps. This sort of like special class of app. Um, and what's nice is I can do that inside the company or outside the company. And like even beyond that, in my mind, if I maintain Apple quality, it doesn't matter where an Apple team, an Apple like morality. Then it doesn't really matter where I'm doing my. I had a fun word for it. Dev designing. It doesn't matter where I do my design or development. I'm always like if I say that I am the true bastion of the Apple ethos and the true champion of the the Apple spice, then I mean maybe I should be the sheriff of the Apple spice. Who knows? Whatever. Um, gosh, fuck my meandering brain. What a useless brain. Um, also, gosh darn my propensity to profanity. I'm realizing that's going to make these videos inaccessible. And I want to... Well, everything I'm trying to do is promoted by accessibility. Um, but also, what I'm trying to do is promoted by authenticity. So I should try to be authentically accessible. That's a good tip to you creators. Be authentically accessible. Overlap the two Venn diagrams. Oh, I don't have enough fingers to make enough O's. Oh wait. No. I need two thumbs. Oh, we got one. God, get on it. Feature request. So yeah, what I want to achieve with this wrap up isn't that I deserve more justice, because really it's just like that. I think everyone in our community would agree we should, like, if justice was like a finite resource, and it does, justice takes energy. The community has to devote energy to justice efforts in order to achieve it. It's very difficult. I'll certainly agree. Policing's hard. And I just mentioned that because I don't think we should conceptualize this as like, I need more justice, just because, frankly, whatever justice we got to spare, we should give it to our more vulnerable community members. But then I had another way to contextualize. Oh, but I think we should see it as a war. Just because, like, yeah. Oh shit! But I don't want to distract this war I don't want this war to distract from anyone else's justice. So if you're giving a vulnerable person some justice, boy do I respect that, and boy do I appreciate that as a member of this community. Boy do I admire it. And you're a hero. And definitely don't, and just definitely keep up with that. And maybe what I would like to do is just like maybe, how to put it? Why did I think a war, like contextualizing it as a war, would be better than contextualizing it as a justice appeal? Well, I mean, frankly, just like in terms of optics and messaging, like a war makes, like, whatever camp could be called my camp seem, what's the right word? More, more executive in our participation, more, like we have more of an initiative. We have a, what's the right word? We have a lot of volition and sovereignty in how we are interacting with the social context within which this contest is occurring. And then you could contrast that with like a justice appeal, which is where like I'm like a small actor, and then like Apple is like the largest single actor maybe, and then we are within the broader context of like the United States society and justice system, which is like a little bug on top of like a lion on top of a whale. I'm actually at this point that I'm at Natural Bridges. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I thought I would take people on a tour. Like back when I was, what's the right word? Back when I was thinking, should I talk about like how I want justice and stuff? I thought, oh, I'll walk the audience around Santa Cruz, and talk about how much I love my home and how like this is the first place I've ever felt like I was part of a community. But you know, like that's not a very consequential Like that's not something that anyone should like get out of bed for. Uh, but I think no, but like I think people should fight wars against corporations to hold them accountable. And so I don't even want people to support me. Yeah. That's a good. Don't even support me. Okay. I just like because I don't even need support. Like I said, the siege is going so well. Their walls are dust. Their morale is. How about what would be a good way to criticize someone's morale? Poor. The morale is poor. What else is wrong with them? Their weapons are rusty. Their ammunition is missized. Their fuel doesn't have the right temperature properties, and they are advancing through the mud. So my point is, my point is, I hope I didn't alienate that woman. I hope I didn't yell too loud. I hope, oh gosh, I hope she's gonna. I wonder if she's gonna be in the audience or in the background, and like we're gonna see her. I'll see her expression. Well, I shouldn't get sidetracked because you guys already know. I guess now it's dramatic irony because you know something I don't, and I'll soon find out whether or not I look like a boisterous asshole. I guess maybe this is a good lesson to communicate my message tactfully. Gotta be accessible. That woman could have been another subscriber. Next time, I'll get you. I think she was in a rap 4. I'll get you Miss Rap 4. Comment and like. This video is dedicated to you. And to all of Santa Cruz. I know that you'll appreciate that we both think it's beautiful, even though I'm annoying. I'll try harder. Okay. So, oh yeah. So I don't even, like, so think about it. Like I could message in like I want more justice and I'm a victim, but I don't think that's strong because, frankly, they're my victims. What else? And then I could also message like I want to fight a war, rally with me, community. But that's still too weak because it makes it sound like I need help. They need help. So what instead I want to do is just show how like a single man can like rally values to, or use the truth to rally values to a what is this? What is the category of this situation? Like I want to call it I guess for some reason the word leadership crisis comes to mind, but I don't even know how much leadership knows. I guess it's like it's really the values. It's whether leadership can hold values. But this is too specific because I would think this should be like a more general. Really, I just know that something. Oh, like it's simplistic, but something wrong happened. This fraud shouldn't have happened. And then I also think it's like a kind of wrongness that's socially dangerous. But again, I don't want to get carried away in like a justice narrative. I guess I just want to show how I think a single person can, or the truth. Like, what is it? I think the truth can stand here. Yeah, yeah, that's maybe good. Don't even think about me in it. Just think, what does the truth say? If everyone knew the truth, how would they want it to come out? And then, like, there's dozens of individuals involved here. What could each individual do to bring us closer to that most communally authentic outcome? So that's a good context. And I guess I'll thank I'll thank the Santa Cruz community for giving me that community mindset. That's a good way. That's a good thing. And I guess to accompany that, I'll just take you guys around Santa Cruz and we can see all the cool stuff. So this is whatchamacallit. This is Natural Bridges. It's I also thought that would be a fun allegory. Like I'm gonna try and how I said about I need to be the adult in the room, and I need to separate the good and the bad actors, and I need to find the right authority who's going to have the motivation to not propagate the cover-up and instead protect Apple in the long term by ordering an impartial investigation. Like one way to do that is like harness pre-existing alliances. I like not just think about which individual actors are going to be incentivized to end the vicious virus and cull the wicked, rather than jump in the frothy shipwreck themselves. And why would you jump in a shipwreck? I guess maybe you're a unwrecked ship adjacent. Probably shouldn't jump in. Although of course, like, see, that's the issue. There's like gonna be people who have friends across the divide. Like imagine you're only like a 45% criminal, and your friend's a 55% criminal, and so he I mean, I don't know why I chose those ratios, but like he somehow like flips some threshold over to being a full, like, to like committing an actual criminal accessory act, like trying to get a disabled fraud victim to sign a document for the third time, a document that's already been miscategorized to conceal a fraudulent act. And you're literally trying to use the same document, resubmitted and miscategorized to further conceal that original product. It's like not even good. See, this isn't even high quality fraud. Like, you'd think they could think of like another excuse to like get me to submit a document. They literally, like, cause what's crazy is I have like both phone recordings. I have Sedgwick asking me for this same document twice. After, like, and this for a total of 3, like, because I gave it. So it was the first document I gave them. Imagine that. I only give them 1 document. And then they ask for that same document 2 more times without explanation. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's go around Santa Cruz. Let's just do that. Let's just do that wrap up. I want to have good energy in these videos. That's what defeats the imposters. I can't save you, but maybe I can save Apple. I will lead Apple across the natural bridges pioneered by our founders to the eternal values that elevate us towards God. And we will have everlasting success in fair market competition. Bring it, Tesla.